Hey folks, it's Lindsay Hollis with SPS back in the building over at the Horatio Williams Foundation Team Camp, the test of the best, because of this man right here putting together over 60 teams over 2 days from Michigan and Ohio. I'm sitting here with none other than my guy, Mr. TJ Kelley. You all right?
Man, Lindsay, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you.
First question, were you in Miami on a golf course or doing something else? You got a serious tan going on, brother. Tell me what's going on with that.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to step behind the plate and call some strikes.
Yeah. How you doing? I love it. And then I overheard you say you a former catcher. I was a catcher too, man.
Yeah. Well, being a catcher back in the 20th century, we all learned from what Johnny Bench did. You know, at least that's how I was taught. And so, yeah, but I mean, I just love baseball. You know,
yeah, baseball's all right.
I mean, going on 40 years. You know?
I love baseball, but I love playoff baseball. Yeah. It's like you see the purest aspect of the game. Yeah. That being said, man, we got time for baseball, but let's talk about you, your labor of love, partnering with Horatio as always, and putting together this great event with teams from all over the state as well as Ohio. Talk about this event you got going on today.
Yeah, I mean, we thought, you know, Horatio had an idea, you know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Well, no, excuse me, 3 years ago, you know, about putting together like a nice team camp. I was fortunate that he asked me.
Come on, who else you gonna ask? Come on now. How are you humble about it?
Let's say this. I'd rather be humble about it because there are a lot of other people, and you can go on websites or whatever and find your favorite teams. I really like watching. I love putting together the matchups just as I do, you know, with Horatio's in-season events with the Motor City Round Ball Classic. Just to see, hey, I want to see this player versus this player. The fans want to see this player. Matchups that people want to see.
Can we go behind the curtain a little bit more? Is it easier said than done? We got a matchup with we don't see. Is that just the phone calls and more that goes into it?
You know, I think I'm fortunate that, you know, I've been able to build relationships, you know, with a lot of coaches for, you know, being in this environment for 20 plus years. You know, so, you know, you get to know guys before when we used to have hair, used to have gray hair.
That's fair, yeah. But you could be somewhere for 20 years and ain't nobody picking up the phone.
True. Well, let's say this. I think being out there, you know, like I say, don't ask the kids to work hard to put in the work, and you're not willing to put in the work if you're going to be involved with kids. So my thing is, you know, just being around, introducing myself to a whole lot of people, you know, obviously, been around before social media, so you actually had to go out there and shake people's hands, meet people. Yeah, so it's one of those things where you gotta. Let's say this. I'm also happy that we have a plethora of teams that are worthy to be here.
Must see TV.
Must see TV. Yeah, I mean, it almost turns like we were kind of talking like a test of the best.
Yeah, I love it.
You know?
I love it.
So, hey, Horatio, I don't know, maybe next year he'll tag it. You know. That is, you know, the name of this wonderful team camp. But for 2 days, to bring teams from all over the state, well, let's say this, from the lower half of the mitten, you know, from Saginaw and further down. You know,
two Saginaw teams.
Yep.
No, then you went as far as Ohio. Talk about the Ohio connection going across the border.
Yeah, Quincy Simpson coming over from Lima Senior, one of the best guys I've known them, you know, a good dozen years. You know, and then you have Anthony Stacy who brought Toledo Whitmer in. They both have strong teams. You know, I was fortunate to know Coach Stacy back when he was coaching in Toledo. You know, before ESPN Plus, every now and then you look out and get to see a MAC game where he played at Bowling Green.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a small world, and, you know, just keeping good ties with everybody, you know, and when the opportunity comes along with this, like this, you get to play in front of the college coaches, you get to play in front of the fans. It's a great experience, especially for the younger kids who have really never been on a college campus and get to learn that much more.
See, man, you stole my thunder, because my next question was going to be talking about what is the real upside to summer ball, but you named a number of quality reasons that's beneficial. But what do you say to someone who said, man, it's just the summer, man, the real hoops don't start until after Christmas?
Well, I think one of the old monikers is championships are won in the summer. You know, through practice, through chemistry, through team bonding. Vast majority of team camps, you know, teams are traveling. So just to be stuck with, you know, this kid over here, you might not like him or whatever, you know, teammates and stuff like that, might not see eye to eye. But there are small things that I think that help to bond relationships.
I agree.
You know, when you're out on the road, it might be one of those things where, hey, you hit a big shot and you made the pass to the guy who, you know, and you all found the common ground, and that's winning. You know what I'm saying? Winning has a wonderful way of, I don't know, healing relationships, making relationships. So, yeah, hats off to all the teams that are here. And I'm looking around. I mean, we've got coaches that won state championships as players, coaches that won state championships in the recent, past. I don't know, go back a dozen years or so. So it's great to see all these guys getting together, and they all want that strong bump. You know what I'm saying? They really want to get after it. And
so, I think that's important too.
Yeah. You get to see kids growing up and stuff like that. Seeing some of the freshmen from a couple years ago who are now juniors, now seniors. And just watching the development of their game. And seeing the opportunities that want to come in their way.
I got a question. This could be potentially a viral statement because it's you answering it. What's the state of basketball, high school basketball, prep basketball is in the state of Michigan 2025, 2026?
I'm pretty optimistic about 2025 or 25-26, the upcoming season. Guys are transferring. But how I kind of look at it is, transfer to another state. They're going to prep school or whatever that might be. And that's beautiful. I mean, it might not be for everybody, but I think the guys that are going and making those moves and stuff like that, it's a business move and it's in their best interest.
Well, that speaks to the talent that's here that they can go other places.
Yes, and Carlos Medlock, who we saw here last year. I mean, he transferred to Link Academy. He was a runner-up at Wayne Memorial this past March. And then he just wound up picking up a Michigan State offer on his Michigan visit. So that might be a viral moment.
For the record,
but at the end of the day, if I can
hold on for a second. Yeah. That's kind of like psychological warfare, though. Oh, he on his visit. Let's send this right now.
Hey, he ain't gonna not look at his phone. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
and that's when somebody go up to Dusty and be like, "Hey, man, you see this?"
Yeah, I'm saying they probably might have caught him in his phone. Like, "Ooh, wow!" All right, he liked it and retweeted it. Another coach saw that or whatever. I don't know. I mean, obviously, he tweeted out during.
I'm gonna make some phone calls later. I want to talk. We'll get some. That'd be another conversation.
Yeah, but going back to the state of Michigan, the talent that we have in Michigan. I'm pretty optimistic about our 25-20, let's say Michigan's 26 class. I really like our parity. I'm at East Lansing is probably going to be the favorite to
repeat. They'll be here tomorrow.
And they'll be here tomorrow.
What about Warren Lincoln? They go for the Trey boy?
Let's say this. Waddell Henry, one of the best coaches, more than likely going to wind up in the Hall of Fame at some point. His incoming sophomores might be a year and a half away or something like that from really making noise. But they just have to grow. A lot of it has to do with being, just physically growing. Mentally getting yourself ready and preparing yourself, I think, is another important thing that you're going to only have through experience.
Right.
But if I can go back to our 2025 class, I think that Michigan had 18 guys who want to go in Division I, which is the most since 2019, 2018.
Yeah, because I remember we were single digits at one point.
No, we were maybe over COVID year, 2021. But since then, some of those kids who have gone JUCO or Division II,
but I was going Division I. So how much does that play a role into the trickle down of the college transfer portal? That impact. I mean, that's still pretty good if you got that many guys going to Division I, even in the transfer portal.
Well, let's say this: we haven't cracked 20 Division I offers in Michigan since maybe 2013, 2007. So when we near that number, I kind of put it as a barometer. Obviously it's not the 20th century when Michigan was, sending 40 guys to go Division I. The landscape has changed.
And would you say that
we just got to figure it out as a state?
Too. A lot of our guys that technically would have been Michigan, residents end up being somewhere else. Okay, so day one coming to a wrap pretty soon. We're probably in the last third of the run. How would you rate today, and then what does tomorrow going to look like?
Well, we've got 3 more sets of games today. I think today is fantastic. You get to see a lot of different teams, guys figuring things out. Obviously there's some kids that are hurt. There have been some kids that are transfers that we found out about here as well. But at the end of the day, it's great to see Horatio Williams smiling. So many people going and meeting Horatio who hosts this event. And I think that those are some of the important things that wind up really making this click to go along with the talent. And the hospitality at the University of Detroit Mercy. Mark Montgomery has been fantastic.
Montgomery running around here like a GA, the way he's moving stuff, turning the fan on. Shout out to Mark.
It must be nice to be 4% body fat or whatever.
He's still looking like he.
Mark looks like he can still put it on the floor a little bit. But I'm not sure about playing above the rim. But at the end of the day, it's about being fortunate to have this here at Callahan Hall. We're in the city and hosting it. I mean, we've got 3 courts. One thing I love about this is you don't have to go anywhere. You can observe as much basketball as you want.
You know what? And that vantage point being up in the bleachers, you know, near Reggie's Corner, which I know is important to you, that vantage point is great. You can see all them hoops that's going on. But TJ, this is the deal. We got buzzers going on. I got a few more people I want to get, but I'm glad I got 10 minutes of funk with you, kind of getting us caught up. You know, I appreciate you. And then keep me up with your new strike calls so we can see how that's going to work for you, all right? And we'll see how you evolve.
All right. I got to talk to some of these seasoned veterans like Herschel Bell
to let you know how to do it.
Let them know how.
Yeah, and again, I found out that you were playing baseball as a catcher. That's another reason we connect. So with that being said, guys, this is Lindsay Ellis with SPS. We'll see you next time. Peace.